Wow. So we're live right now, just in case, because I think Christy was about to start cussing, because what y'all don't know is we were ready 10 minutes ago, but they were playing musical chairs with the computer trying to find the right angle in the house to where it was. And I'm like,
good lighting.
Computer down.
You couldn't see us well. So I'm glad we got it fixed. First live broadcast, so you know.
Well, let's do this. For the two ladies wearing the awesome pink shirts. Christy, stand up, show them your shirt, introduce you and Eden, and tell them who you are, tell them your shirts, and we're gonna get into it.
All right. They're a little wrinkled, but yeah, I don't know if you can see it. They say on the front, go all the places, and got little icons, and then on the back. It says, do all the things. And it's got little black icons of girls with dancing and surfing and biking and all types of stuff, climbing. Awesome. So we had these shirts made before we left Charlotte. A friend of ours makes shirts. And
let's do it like this.
Yeah.
You two are from Charlotte, right?
Yep.
Tell me how you get from Charlotte to Brazil.
Take a 24-hour flight, an 8-hour flight plus you take a 2-hour flight plus a 7-hour layover, an 8-hour flight, and then a 3-hour layover and another 2-hour flight, and you land in Salvador.
Wow, you were the cheap airline to have to do all that. But in any case, what made you leave? Like, you two are based in Charlotte, but you went all the way inside. We're gonna get the t-shirts. We're gonna start doing this. We're gonna start doing that. What tipped in your brain to say, we're not just going to go, travel to Brazil on a holiday. We're going to create our own brand. We're going to start. Oh, we got some folks in the room. Brother Brent Allen, good evening. Shay, thanks for showing up. So where we are right now is, you and I, we've broken bread. We've all had a chance to chat, and it was great to meet both of you. I actually remember we had a great conversation about Eden, because, Eden, remember when you tried to pass that ice cream off on your mom like you had no idea how you bought so much ice cream? Like, what is this? I don't know. He put it in my hand.
At the restaurant, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. This ice cream just appeared in my hand, and now you got to pay for it. So let's do it. Both of you, tell me where you're from and what you do back in the States.
Okay. Well, let's see. So there were a couple questions. So we're going to start at the beginning with that, or how did we end up in Brazil? Okay, we'll start with us back in the States. Pre-Brazil, I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I've lived in Charlotte for 20 years. It doesn't help, does it? Sorry, we're going to turn this off. It's just a bright light in our faces. Originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I've lived in Charlotte for 20 years. Eden was born in Charlotte. I work for a major bank, and Eden is a student. She's 16. We've done some travels here and there. My first international trip was when I was in college. I lived in Spain for about a year for a study abroad program. Then I kind of extended it a little bit more. And so my major was Spanish when I came back, because you can't be gone for this long and think you could just go back to normal life. I fell in love with Spain. I fell in love with traveling. I felt like it was something that I was, genetically created to do. Came back to the States, lived a normal life as a Spanish teacher, moved to Charlotte. And since then, I've taken a few trips like to Costa Rica, Canada, London. And so Eden took a trip to Costa Rica by herself, not by herself, but with a group, without me, with a group of young traveling girls with a nonprofit at the time. And one of the things that was really important was that I wanted her to do all the things. Go all the places and do all the things came kind of from that trip. It was, let's raise enough money, let's save enough money, let's be frugal enough so that when you get there, whatever is presented in front of you and you want to do it, and try it. Eat the food, try the fruit, have the experience, go to the top of that mountain, hike it, ride it, whatever it is, go ahead and do it. And so she turned 14 while she was there. And since then, we've just been kind of living our lives. And I started taking Portuguese a year or so ago. And
let's back up for a second. Let's back up before we get to Portuguese. Eden, because Christy, how many languages do you speak?
Portuguese is my third language, so English, Spanish, Portuguese.
But Eden, did your mother teach you Spanish before you went, or did you just have to go and grind it out?
No, I mean, mom's been speaking Spanish longer than I've been alive. So I grew up speaking Spanish, I guess. I'm passable, kind of like, any child that had their parents speak Spanish, they're going to have that household Spanish. You understand, you can speak a little bit. I also went to a Spanish immersion school in my younger elementary years. So that kind of created a base where, I understood my mom more. I left that school, but, mom never stopped speaking Spanish. So when I went to Costa Rica, it wasn't like a big issue. I was actually more of a translator because all of the other girls didn't know anything. So yeah. I was translating things, asking where things are, what is this, what is that, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool to see her Spanish bloom. When she came back, it was like she was on another level with Spanish, and she was only there for 2 weeks, and it was fantastic. So worth.
Well, the reason I was saying that, I actually know people. I know a guy whose parents speak, I think at home they speak German. Black guy, black family. But here's the interesting part. He was damn near out of high school before he realized his family wasn't German, and neither of his parents spoke German as their first language. But they wanted to make sure he was fluent in a second language before he even got out of high school. Because I've done a lot of writing and reading on being bilingual, and for me, I believe that, quote unquote, that way out for a lot of people who come from where a lot of Black people come from, who do not have opportunities and advantages, I believe that being bilingual can give you a way out that is hard to do, but not expensive to pull off. Does that make sense?
When you say a way out, like out of the country?
A way out of the country. I'm a big advocate for, and somebody smarter than I am said, when you're dealing with a country like the United States, you have three options. You can either take the knee, like they say in Game of Thrones, and just bow down to the king, take the beating. You can fight the government on their own turf, which some brave soldiers are out there doing. I don't recommend it. Or you can be like Wateef and just run. I'm not, listen, I do all this time. I'm not built for the struggle. My life is not going to be running from tear gas and fighting injustice in the streets. My life was built, I want to have a comfortable life with physical comforts, financial security, and I'm okay telling folks, if you are Black or Native American, you owe America nothing. Take what you have of value and leave. Okay? But one of the things he did, 3 Ds to success, another staunch supporter. I hope you guys check out his channel. But the reason that I talk about that is I said, you and I'm not even dead fluent in Portuguese the way you're dead fluent in Spanish for either of you. But when you learn a different language, you get to open doors that most people don't even know are there.
Yeah, if you're doing it right, you're not just learning language, you're learning culture. You're learning a way of life, a way of thinking, a way of seeing the world. So yeah, if you're doing language learning right, it's not just, syntax and structure and grammar. And when you, at least for me, when I was a teacher, that was so important. Like, I didn't want my students just to speak Spanish. I wanted them to be excited about the world, be excited about culture, be excited about be exposed to things that are different than what they're used to, and be excited about learning about them, no matter how different it was. So yeah, I think, it all ties together. And like I mentioned to you when we had dinner, when we first got to Sao Paulo, since graduation, I've never had a job that didn't require me to speak Spanish. And it has allowed me to be exposed to the language and the culture and other countries in different ways, whether it's my current team. I'm the only American on the team, so I get to learn Spanish Dominican Spanish, Spanish from Ecuador, Costa Rica, Venezuela. Like it's enriched my Spanish even more to be able to, just work with people from different countries, travel to different countries, and even being here, even though this is not like a work trip, because some of our team is in Brazil. That was my way in. I was like, hey, we got a team in Brazil. I want to learn Portuguese. And then after a year, it was like, hey, I've been learning Portuguese. I want to go meet the team in Brazil. And then it was like, okay, COVID, let's see what happens. And then when the borders opened up, that's how we ended up coming. We discussed trying our hand at a nomadic life for a few months in Brazil. That's how it went.
Well, one of the things that I want to acknowledge, a lot of people don't come from bilingual homes. And so a lot of people are still trying to find that way. For example, one of the biggest questions I get here, good evening. One of the questions that I get here all the time is, okay, how do we get both feet out of the door? How can I get out? What can I do that's going to put me into a situation where I am? My businesses are online. For those who don't know, I do, and thanks to Brother BK from the Rockies, he always puts those things up, and I'll show you guys what I do. And I don't know if you two have seen what I do professionally. I'll add my LinkedIn here, and I tell people all the time, add me on LinkedIn. It's my professional resume, but a good chunk of what I do is virtual. Almost all of my business is virtual. Right now, for the past 3 years, my biggest business that I've been having to expand and monitor and grow is, my expat relocation services business, where I help people to legally come to Brazil with, visas, permits, all that good stuff that they need. And for the record, if you ever want services like that done, I don't say take my word for it. Look for people that have, they say, don't let your history be a mystery. Look for quality references. Look for people that you can say, hey, this guy is who he claims to be, pay him. And I'm proud to tell you, I built up a great book of public references of people who will say, this guy's everything he claims to be. But not everybody has a job like that or a career like that they can create on their own. And I thought about that in combination with a website that I was in the process of building during the period between, I started kind of thinking it over. The process started that week between Christmas and New Year's where everybody's all weird. I was thinking, what can I do? So I thought, okay, I'll start another business. And on Facebook, I have Black Expats in Brazil, which is a Facebook group. And I went out and I purchased a domain name. And for the record, for everyone who doesn't know, I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to say, hey, how you doing? Save this and look later. I can't type, so yeah, there we go. So people, listen, I started a business as a writer doing copywriting, proofreading. People think that I know how to type. I don't. I use voice to text. I'm a writer here, and then I can create great articles, but I don't know how to type.
I mean, the tools are out there to make it happen. You don't have to know how to type. You don't have to. I mean, shoot, even when we got here, after trying to learn or being in the Portuguese classes for all those times, I still use Google Translate quite a bit to check my language. If I just don't know how, Google Translate has been my friend. Tools, use the tools. And that's what you're doing. Same thing.
My dad and I used to watch the $6 Million Man with Steve Rogers, and they would say he had an airplane accident. And they'd say, we have the tools. We can rebuild him.
Yep.
So I purchased blackexpatsinbrazil.com, and I outsourced a couple of things. I outsourced the logo. Of course, I did the writing. I outsourced how the website comes together. But I also have a couple of other things in here. I have Brazilian culture, for example, where people do articles. I've got a couple up there talking about different parts of Brazil and different things. I've got another section called Come to Brazil, which is essentially it's the telling everybody who I am and that, yes, in fact, you can move to Brazil, and that's what my company does. But here's the part where I was thinking about you, Eden, because we talked about what you want to do in and after college. Do you remember talking to us about social media?
Yes.
Well, this started because I have a section here called Meet the Expats. What that did is I had not all, I asked them all, about 10 people did it. Turn your phone sideways, give me 5 minutes of why you came to Brazil, why it's awesome, where you left, and what your opinion is. Then I downloaded one of those free phone editor apps, and I added the Instagram logo, I added their Instagram, I added my Instagram, and that was just it. And I also have a feed for the Black Expats in Brazil channel. Now, here's what I was thinking. At some point, I'm going to purchase what they call a, on Instagram and on Facebook, you can do advertisement, right? Well, you can purchase the advertisement, but you need someone to do the advertising for you. You need someone to create whatever it is you're going to advertise. So here's what I was thinking. I looked up how to do things like create videos or pay for someone to make 30-second or 60-second social media videos. And I realized, hey, I don't want to pay all that money for it and not like it, because most of those people were good at what they did, but they were white. They're like, we can create, picture of somebody running across the beach with a Brazilian flag. But I would say, great, do you have black people to put in those 30-second videos? Ooh.
Right. Yeah. And we're here. It's there.
This is what I did. And I came up with a method, and I'm at a point where I am in my careers. I outsource everything that is not my primary source of income. I don't mind paying people for something that I could do, but I make more money doing what I do professionally. Now, you having youth on your side, you have something called sweat equity. Do you know what that is, Eden? Sweat equity?
No.
You can make up for with sweat what you don't have in capital. And I'm gonna go old man on you for a minute, so stay with me. If when I was your age, I had a situation where someone told me I could create a business, market a business, and take payments on a business all for free online, I would have eaten a baby for it. I mean, it's really that I grew up without all this. I'm going to give you some game right now. I'm going to give you something that if you can get good at this, I'll pay you the same way I would pay someone else. But I figured you've got a good cell phone, and you can balance this. I mean, you can even go so far as to create a business out of this. I'm more than happy to help you get set up on sites like Fiverr or your own website. But here's what I was thinking. So the first thing I did was Google best phone editor. Okay.
You Google.
I'm going to show you.
Mm-hmm.
Phone editor, meaning
phone editor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all those little things that you could, put on your cell phone to edit. Because right now, the things that edit on phones are as good as we had 5 years ago on laptops.
Mm.
Okay. Which apps can you take a video and edit something? Now, I came up with two. One was called InShot, and one was called KineMaster. So it was InShot versus KineMaster versus Power Director. Now, there are tons of articles out there. Again, I'm not a professional, but I did download the InShot. What did I do then? I thought, okay, well, what if I have this thing that can make me all kinds of edits on a video to add lighting, to add bubbles, to show people, running through the woods and putting things on there. The first thing I thought about was the biggest problem is this. How do you get those images? Mainly because images, when people take images, they want to be paid for their work. But I Googled free images. And I found a couple of websites. For example, I'll show you one. I'll show you two, actually, where you can go here and get free images. Let's see, where'd it go? Now, am I saying this is going to be the entire business model if you choose to do it? No. But if I can show you how to get a free app to start with, right? Then get free video images of 30, 60 seconds. This is one, VidEasy, right? So I went into VidEasy and I just put in the word Brazil because what I want pictures, videos of Brazil that are what we call royalty free. And it takes longer to do it than it does to explain it to you, but I want to go over this with you so that you see what I'm showing you and you can decide if this is right for you.
And I think also it's another option too when it comes to free stock is that Eden is a photographer. And so she has a lot of her own images.
There you go.
To use in her own video.
Some of these images can come on a green screen.
Mm.
And I put in Afro Brazil. So I got pictures of Afro Brazilians doing stuff. There's another website I'm going to show you called Pexels, Pexells. And again, I say use these first before you start using your own because they've got a lot in there for you, right? You see this? They've got Put on the Street. They've got Christ the Redeemer. Just a bunch of anywhere from 5 to 10 to 30 seconds of quality, high resolution video that is what we call what is it when it's what is it called?
Like uncopyrighted kind of?
Where they put it up there to be used for free. Now, before I keep ranking, Eden, are you with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. And I also feel I should issue a warning to you, Eden. I'm doing this publicly. Somebody else is going to take this idea. Right now, there's a young woman, not nearly as talented as you are, not bilingual, doesn't have half your motivation, and doesn't have the quality of parenting that you have. Is going to see this video, and by the time she gets to college, she's going to have made enough money to pay for some of it. Somebody's going to take people watching this right now is going to save this to their friends. So I'm telling you, the game is free, but you got to get on it. So watch this. I found, and that's if you want to do it, because I'm not here to push you, but check this out. Now we've got, where'd it go? I found one that just had, let's see, where'd it go? I'm going to put up on the screen here. I don't know how many seconds it is. It's 14 seconds. But look at how quality the footage is. Hold on a second. You see that?
Mm.
Now imagine that video. Except it said, I'll give you a caption that I'll put on there with a nice, clever font. One of these people is Brazilian, one of them is American. Which one are you? Black expats in Brazil. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
But you sell it to me, not me, the other guy, because I got the inside track, for $20, which is almost nothing. But let's go even cheaper than that. $10. I'm gonna give you a 10-second video, $10. I'm gonna say something clever about your company. I'm gonna say something about why the beach or whatever it is you need to be sold. But remember, target your community. The best operators and businesses find a niche market and service that community. There aren't many Black people doing stuff like this. I can find tons of videos of white people dancing on a beach, but when I found 2 Black people dancing on a beach, I was like, well, there you go. So if it said, one is Brazilian, one is American, which one do you want to be? Black expats in Brazil. It doesn't even have to be classy or clever, but something about their company. Because
how you feel when the borders finally open?
Yeah. Ooh, say that again.
How you? Eden said it cost you $20 for me to say it again. No,
wow.
I
said that's dirty. Somebody in the comments.
How you feel?
What she said.
That's okay.
And then now you've got that, but now what else do you need? You need free music. You can do the same thing. So let's say royalty free. Somebody did not turn their phone off. You are not good at this social media stuff and doing stuff online.
Okay, Yusef, that's enough. Okay, we got the digs. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. I don't have experience. My plane tickets were cheap. Relax.
I guess I have been getting on your face a little bit.
Relax. You want me on here or you want me not? What you want?
So I just Googled royalty-free samba. Now, I wouldn't use it off YouTube because you never know if it's true. But Proud Music Library, Epidemic Sound, Brazilian royalty-free music, premium beat royalty-free. All you've got to do is find a simple 10-second audio clip of some samba to put behind it, and you've just created something that you can sell.
Right.
So these are $35, but apparently they said they have some that are free. I don't know where those are. They must be at the bottom. But that's an entire business that you can run from a cell phone.
Right.
From a cell phone.
And that's where it is right now. I mean, that's where it's going to be. It's not going to be anything. It's not going to change at all. Cell phones are computers, and they are created to be able to basically to do almost everything that you need to do. So yeah, that's their future.
Right.
Or you could even do this. You can go to a place like this. Where'd it go? I'm gonna show you right here. Single enthusiastic Brazilian samba, a go-go bell. Brazil. I mean, it doesn't even have to be like $8 for this. There you go. Listen. Again, it'll take some digging, but when you find that repository of places that you can verify are royalty-free for music, you can verify, get some royalty-free videos. And what I would do is when you do that, and let's say you get $20 in your first week for making 2 videos. Wow, you heard what you said. She caught on quick, telling you it's going to be $20. But the thing is, take that first $20 and pay for the expanded version. Because you know how when you download a free app, they only give you like half of it? Well, so what if the rest of it cost another $10 to buy the full suite of editing software?
Right.
And out of that $10 profit, you spend $5 buying 50 minutes, or $5 you find an independent Brazilian artist and say, sell me a song for $5 of you playing the guitar for 20 minutes. I know people who would do that. I know Brazilian guitar players, they'd be like, so wait a minute, you want me to just jam on my guitar for 20 minutes and you'll give me $10 US?
Yeah. Yeah. Endless possibilities for sure. And opportunity is important. Yeah.
And again, I want to be clear, you've got a market that needs you. We need, so look at that, $10 US, 54 real. Wow. Wow. Christy, how many meals can we eat for 54 real?
Oh, I've easily paid for both of us eating. I also bought some coffee today for 55 real.
Yeah, with that, again, us, that $10
I
ain't
felt
much.
bad about it. I was like, ooh, that's kind of pricey. I was like, 55 reais, that's kind of pricey, even though I know it's just $10, but I mean, we're definitely understanding just, the shift in money and, value of things with the, in pricing. That was something that was kind of hard when we first got here. The first few weeks, it was like, oh, it's only $2. Oh, it's only $5, only $10. But how that money works inside of this, inside of the country, we've adjusted. Like today, we went to get some food, and Eden just wanted plain noodles, yakisoba noodles, nothing on there, nothing else. And they had like a whole chicken vegetable yakisoba. We didn't want any of that, just the plain noodle. It was 22 reais. But we just wanted the noodles. And the guy was like, okay, well, plain or not, it's 22 reais. I was like, what? Like, you're not even gonna, he was like, that's just how much it is. And now, what is that, $4? $4, okay? But
You were mad about that $4.
I was like, my Brazilian sensibilities kicked in like, no, sir, you will not get my 22 reais for some plain noodles. Like, you can, if you don't want to make the changes, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, we're just learning really about that. about that and switching. Sometimes it's like, okay, it's worth 55 reais. It is only $10, or nah, we're not doing that today. But yeah, we've eaten well on 60 reais.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can eat very well on that. You know what? I'm gonna give you a restaurant. If you two like ramen, it's called Momo Japanese Ramen here in Sao Paulo. Let me give you this.
And we've had
We went to Hira
and Villa Magdalena. We went to Hira. It was very nice. It was one of our pricier meals since we've been here.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was pricey, Brazilian real pricey. But I mean, I know it would have cost more in the States. Everything that we ordered. I had 2 bottles of wine. I mean, not 2 bottles, 2 glasses of wine. She had some.
I was not judging. I could have said something, but I let it go. I said, I'm taking
it was 2 glasses, but it was a Syrah Rosé. It was very good. I would have gladly had the whole bottle. But yeah, I mean, that was a little bit pricey. But I mean, it's the whole experience. And so, like someone just noted, yeah, it was the principle. Hira paying all that money, but you, bruh, down the street. And
in China in box.
It wasn't even.
No, you went to China in a box?
Have you eaten there?
No.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, they're everywhere, but they ain't exactly.
No, it wasn't China.
It's like the Chinese place next to the Food Lion.
Well, he's not from Charlotte.
Oh,
yeah.
Charlotte.
I mean, it was just okay. It was just okay. But yeah, I mean, we're learning. It's learning, and that's what we call everything. Like, we've made plenty of mistakes. We've gone the wrong way. We've walked too far. We've paid too much. We've trusted the wrong people. Things have happened, and on the other side, we've met great people. We've had good food, and had really great experiences on accident. And so it's just all been an adventure. That's what we call it. Especially when we are like, yep, this is not what we thought it was going to be. So we're going to call this an adventure. So, but yeah, that was today. China in box was an adventure. But I had a roll. My roll.
Your roll is good. I actually enjoyed it.
But no, you're not getting my 22 guys for some noodles, bro.
So I put that there for anybody else who wants to see it. Momo Ramen. We can go there if you guys want to go get some ramen. Here's what else I was going to ask you. The first thing is, do you have your own website up yet?
No. This was all just a personal thing. This was just trying to make this experience the most memorable. Like, Eden is about to be 17. She'll be graduating from high school soon, starting her own journey, her own life, making her own decisions, creating her own experiences without me. And so this was just me saying, how can I make this the most memorable? And so these shirts, this was just one thing. It was like every time we went somewhere, we went to Christ the Redeemer or we went hang gliding. When we were in the airport on the way here, we had our shirts on, and it was just for us to have those kinds of experiences. Like, we're in this together because we are a team. I mean, this is a team thing, and I'm so fortunate to have it with my baby, because I don't know what it would be like without her, and I don't know when in the future I'll have 3-6 months to do all this type of traveling. So I'm sorry. So yeah, it's not a thing yet, but we do have an Instagram. We are loading pictures onto Instagram, or I am. She needs to. And it's do all the things, like our shirt, well, on the back. Do all the things .Brazil is our Instagram handle. And so we're loading pictures and videos from our experiences and adventures there. So for our family and friends to share, because send us pictures and emailing is too much, and Facebook. So it's an easier platform for us just to upload stuff, and it's faster too. So we've been putting everything at doallthethings.brazil. We made it public last week because, like I said, we were just kind of figuring it out. So now people can start to follow us. Yep.
There we are.
Is that where you are?
That's
Give
us.
me the things I can go think over hashtags.
Okay. She's gonna be our social media manager, add the hashtags and the things like that. I'm just learning, putting up things that look good. And I'm not even really doing any kinds of adjustments or filters. I'm just uploading because Brazil is such a beautiful place and you don't need filters. It's just awesome. Yeah, this is when we were in outside of Salvador. We're eating right there with the life rings. Life
Vest?
No,
life. Lifesavers.
Lifesavers. Yeah. Food that we've cooked, because we do cook at home. We like our own food. We cook at home. We work from home. We school from home, and we get out when we can. She took some surfing lessons while we were in Salvador, which was awesome. I don't even know if that's up there. So yeah, I mean, I haven't probably, a lot of time and energy is definitely put into Eden having experiences and me being able to watch and be happy. So the hang gliding, the surfing, all that kind of stuff. So trying to get it loaded slowly, but that's it.
Well, it's one day at a time. It's you're doing the thing. That's the important part. The thing that has to be done, you're doing.
Yeah. No, it's good.
And I'd like for you both to know I'm here for you 100%. If there's anything I can do for you, any connections I can make for you, any questions I can answer for you.
Well, thank you.
Something else I'd like for you to be able to look at, again, maybe not now, but in the future. I run a Patreon group, and I tell people this all the time. My Patreon group, less fun, more business. When people do the Patreon, I tell them this is where we have those discussions that are not going to be popular on YouTube. Not like people want to hear the ins and outs of how to start a dropshipping business. But for those that are interested in things like that, it's a great thing to have.
Yeah, I do think at some point, I don't know what point yet. It hasn't formally formalized in my mind yet what my expat life might be or when it might start. It may be sooner than later. But yeah, I mean, your videos, and I really need to get on your Patreon, and the people that you've, put in front of us, like very inspiring, trying to figure out when our next, what that might look like for us. Don't know yet, but it's definitely more an option now than before. This experience has shown us, it's confirmed that we are better as a team. We are better mentally, emotionally. We feel safer outside of the US. And that is just the bottom line. My money goes farther. We're able to feel more, we're not balling out, we're not rich, but we're able to do more with my income than before. And that lends to quality of life, and which lends to healthier, happier people, mentally healthier, emotionally healthier, and physically healthier, because it's all an organism, right? It's all a system. It all works together. And so, good fruit, good friends, good food, and experiences, lots of art, lots of beach time, vitamin D, no preservatives, just different things. They all come together, and we're happy and hungry, apparently. Oh yeah, you're on camera.
Well, you know what?
Such a snacker.
Craig, sorry I'm late. You're still in the U.S. No, they're in Brazil. They are in Brazil.
Yeah, we've been here since October 31st. We left Fort Lauderdale, Florida, October 30th, and landed in Salvador, October 31st. And since then, we've been in Rio, and now we're in Sao Paulo with Yusef and some other Black expats. We're headed back to Rio, and eventually we will be making our way back to the States. I got some stuff that I need to take care of, but the flights still seem pretty good as long as we're COVID free and our tests are negative, I feel, and maybe we'll end up with, some vaccines. But yeah, the plan is definitely to come back, go back to Salvador for a little bit, maybe a few months.
Well, low key, I'm trying to ask, why would you have to go back?
Yeah, we talked about this. It's happening.
No pressure.
Yeah, no. Oh, the pressure, I've got enough on myself. Don't worry. I've got enough on myself. And, my friend said yesterday, she said, I figured you would get over there and wouldn't want to come back. I'm like, yeah, of course. If you know me, if you know her, we're adventurous. We like to be out there. We like to try new things. And, my Portuguese isn't quite at the level where I really, really want it to be. So I feel like
everybody has the level of Portuguese they want to speak. And what we tend to forget is if we're speaking English at all during the day, it drops our Portuguese. If I go through a 48-hour weekend where I'm just in the beginning, I'm just rumbling through my Portuguese, but towards the end, I'm able to be, well, I understood everything you just said. Let me explain why I said that. But when you go from doing business in English, then maybe I'll go have coffee with my buddies and they're speaking Portuguese. It's just like it jerks your brain out. Yeah,
we noticed that if, because we stay in the house pretty much during the week because we work and we're schooling and just to be safe, blah, blah, blah. When I stay in way too long, when we emerge from our shells, from our cocoons, and we have to start to speak, it's like a really rough start, like before I'm actually flowing better with the Portuguese. And I mean, I'm sure it would be different if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic and didn't have to be so far from people and we not be able to have experiences. I mean, I know for sure that's the majority of what's going on. But I mean, it's better. I record myself speaking so I can hear myself and practice. I read things out loud, like at the museums and stuff like that. I read it out loud and record myself. So that's good practice. And yeah, she bought a book the other day. Which one was it?
It was Chimanda's book. We should all be feminists.
Yeah. Chimamanda Achebe? No, that's Chinua Achebe. You should know her name.
I know.
But yeah, so reading and getting out. Uber drivers, yeah, that's always
they will talk their face off.
They will talk. Well, I mean, they don't. We're pretty quiet. We get in, we get out. But with the mask and not being able to see facial expressions, it's really hard for me to understand. Like, if I can't see your mouth and I can't see your eyes, I can't see your facial expressions, and your words are directed this way instead of towards me for me to hear, like that's always. So typically we're in the Uber and they're talking. I'm like, entendi. Sí, tudo bem, tudo.
And then I'll be like, what are you saying? I don't know.
She's like, what did he say? We're almost there. Don't worry. We don't need to know. But yeah.
Here's the other thing I wanted to say to you, and you talked about putting up pictures and doing different things. We also have just started the Black Expats in Brazil Instagram page and Twitter, but we're gonna stay with the Black Expats in Brazil Instagram page, and I'll tell everybody to follow there. One of the things that I miss right now is I really miss this time of year because we are in a period where the ensayos are what's happening. The ensayos of the carnival that's in preparation for the big carnival. These things. Oh my goodness.
I am so devastated to be in freaking Brazil right now and not be a part
of we should be doing this. This is last year. We should be there with them. And for the record, anybody here who's in Black expats in Brazil, they know they get mad at me because I'll go to 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday.
My heart is really broken. I mean, it's just broken. It's like a dream to be here already, and a dream to be here at this time, and no carnival, no nothing. It is, yeah, thug tears for real. Because it's just crazy. I just have to plan on next year. Hopefully next year will be better. I don't know.
If you can convince them to just let you go on and, teach off your computer, and she's already taking classes online, you don't have to go back.
No, but the great part is we can return as long as we can return as long as there are flights and the border is open. We're just gonna buy. I mean, that is the plan. The plan is to go back and then go back to the States and then come back maybe in
November?
Either in May or November. So we might do 3 months in Mexico, May, June, July, and then come back to Brazil in November. That is kind of how we're seeing the rest of our. You have a question? The rest of our time here.
Online schooling. That's a good question. It is positive. I mean, pros and cons. It's allowed me to be here. Allowed me to do things like this that if I were in school, it would be way harder for me to take off of how many months have we been here to be here. But you hear a lot about kids having difficulty paying attention and staying motivated and all that kind of stuff during online schooling. I definitely have had that issue. I have lots of friends who have that issue. It's a bit different, but just gotta kind of pick up the pace. And I'm in my junior year, so I've definitely had to kind of push forward because it's an important year. Next year is important as well, and so it's kind of a balance.
Yeah.
Do I like it? Because this allowed me to do this, yes, I really appreciate it, but
yeah, I think the balance has been something that we've really tried to focus on, like not being in the house all day, taking advantages of breaks between classes, lunch breaks for me, or just being kind of offline for me. We went across town to some coffee spot or running to the beach for a few hours when we were in Rio or whatever, or in Salvador. So that balance was really important to me in the decision to come here, because we were just in the house in Charlotte. Charlotte doesn't have a beach. A lot of things were closed. There was a lot of anxiety and fear with COVID. It was crippling. And so saying we're gonna make a decision. We're gonna go. We're gonna be safe. We're gonna take precautions, and we're gonna believe that this is gonna be a great opportunity, because we needed it. She needed it a lot. Just balance. Like, it was school and COVID. Like, what is that? That's stress and anxiety. So taking the game from Charlotte to Brazil, better view, better temperature, especially right now with it being the winter there, it was just almost like a no-brainer. Like, we're doing it, and it's been good. I mean, I love when she takes a minute between classes to go take a walk and explore the neighborhood, or go to the thrift shop down the street, or go to the restaurant, or go to the beach when we are there. I love when she did that. I mean, I just think that's the schooling, the world schooling, how to balance, how to seek adventure, how to know when to disconnect and find little gems, take advantage of those gems of time and in your surrounding. Like that's what I want her to be able to do, is have balance as she gets older and has her own life. So.
Wow. We got to do this again. I actually would like for both of you to be part of my roundtables when I have these bigger discussions where I have lots of people on for different subjects.
Yeah, I think the experience has been kind of unique. I mean, traveling with a 16-year-old, you know, it's not always the easiest. I mean, I know that people do it with younger children, and I personally, I don't know if I mean, I've done it once when I was in Spain. My son was 5, but I don't know. I do think it has been definitely a learning experience, learning about her, really trying to work on our communication, how we communicate with each other, how we communicate our feelings, like, you know, it's very small spaces now. Sometimes our Airbnbs only have one room, but yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, I can't even, it wells up, get a little lump in my throat sometimes when I think about this experience and how our lives and relationship are changed and enhanced by it. I mean, I don't think I'm making it up, but you don't have to say, but but yeah, I feel fortunate. I feel so much gratitude. Like, this is no other word for it.
Wow.
Gratidão. Hashtag gratidão.
Well, on that note, is there anything you two want to log off with? Anything you want to say to folks before we go offline?
That's me.
Either one of you.
I mean, really, our motto, go all the places, do all the things. I mean, if you can make it happen, go. If you have an opportunity to do it, then do it.
Steward of opportunity.
Be a good steward of opportunity. That is how we would say, what we would say.
I like that. Well, on that note, this is what I'll do. I'm going to click log off. It will put us in a situation where we are offline, but we can still chat here, all right?
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Make sure you share this. Be sure you like, share, subscribe. I appreciate everybody taking time out of their night to kind of hang out with me that have helped this channel to grow. You've all been sharing the great content that we've been putting out, and I'm appreciative.
Yeah, thanks for the question.